Did you know that when you're finding the percentage of a number and it's a little challenging, you can switch it around? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Let's get into this little percentage trick, shall we?
It's like every day.
So let's get straight in and read this word problem. So there are 50 students in the class, and if 14% are absent on a particular day, find the number of students present in the class. Okay, so here's what we see. We see 50, so we're going to underline that, 50 students, and 14% are absent. Okay, so I'm going to do this in one of three ways actually, and I'll leave the trick till the end. Okay, so the first way is you would usually change this 14% to a decimal, right, which would be 0.14, or you can just say 0.14, right, and you can multiply that by the 50, right, 040, 010, 054 is 20. And 5 times 1 is 5, and that is 7, right? So that would give you, when you add, that would give you that. But then because of the decimal at the top there, you'd have to come in from the right and put the decimal back in two places, 1, 2, decimal. So that would make it 7. So the second way I'm going to do this is a quicker way where you just do 14 times 50. You don't have to worry about the decimal, right? So if you're not sure of how to convert the 14% to a decimal, you just go ahead and say 14 times 50, and you would get all the same numbers here, right? Which would take you down to 700, and then you would just divide by 100 or just get rid of these two zeros here, right? And you'd be dividing by 100 because obviously percent is out of 100. So you divide by 100, which would get rid of these two zeros, which would just give you the 7 here. Now the trick that I have is, just like how you would do 14 times 50, you could do 50 times 14. So 14% of 50, if that's too challenging for you to think about, right, you could switch it around. And you could say 50% of 14. Now of means multiply, so we know we're multiplying, right? So 50% of 14, but if you know what 50% is, which is half, 50% of 14 will just give you the 7. And there you go. So you can switch it around. That, my friends, is the trick. All right, so we're not done yet, because the question was, find the number of students that are present in the class, right? So then we found out that 7 are absent. So then we need to find out how many are present. So there was a total of 50 students in the class. So 50 students, and then you're going to minus that 7 who were absent. All right, and then what do we have? 43 students were present in the class. So just like multiplication, 8 times 6 is 6 times 8, you switch it around. So in this case, if you wasn't able to do the 14% of 50, you just switch it around, 50% of 14. And there you go. Like, comment and subscribe with that notification bell so you'll know every time I upload, which is every Wednesday. And I will see you next time in another math video. Thank you for watching. Class dismissed.